Good afternoon, everyone. More than anything else, thank you very much for having a lot interest in KStartup Grand Challenge and webinar for promoting KSGC in spite of a busy and heavy schedule. My name is Kyung Hwan Lee, the Director of National IT Industry Promotion Agency, and now I'm a moderator of the webinar for promoting KStartup Grand Challenge. KStartup Grand Challenge is one of the largest global accelerating program. So annually, more than 1,500 startups in the world have applied and joined in our program. So now this time, I want to introduce the KStartup Grand Challenge briefly and move on to the main program to take the question and answer section. If so, now let me introduce what is the KStartup Grand Challenge. Last afternoon, I checked the number of applicants. More than 400 applicants, more than 400 startups has applied for KSGC. This number is more than that of last year, considering each period and situation. Approximately 50 is more than last year. So sincerely, I want to feel appreciated to you and applicant for giving a great interest and application in KSGC. In my presentation, I want to tell you about two kinds of things. The first one is about the host organization, Ministry of SME and Startup, and National IT Industry Promotion Agency. And then I want to have a talk about KStartup Grand Challenge more deeply. Ministry of SME and Startup is a host organization of KStartup Grand Challenge program. They have responsibility for strengthening competitiveness and supporting innovation of SME and startups. National IT Industry Promotion Agency, as a governmental organization, we have been in charge of promoting, nurturing, and fostering the whole ICT industry. As nowadays, the importance of the fourth industrial revolution highlighted and stressed, we are now focusing on a state-of-the-art digital innovation technology and service, just like AI, network, big data, VR, etc. NIFA has 6 foreign offices in 5 countries. Silicon Valley in United States, Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh in Vietnam, Singapore, Bangalore in India, Berlin in Germany. Based on our foreign office, we have made every effort to enhance and expand international cooperation and global collaboration with many of foreign governmental organizations, global company, and competitive startups. As a global startup accelerating program, KStartup Grand Challenge has assisted global startups in doing business in Korea. Especially, we provide global startups with fund, office space, one-on-one mentorship, consulting, investment opportunity, and business meeting with Korean companies to let them launch, do, and scale up their business model in Korea. The startup, less than 7 years old and pre-entrepreneur, can apply for our program, especially the foreign startup interested in expanding their business in Asia or Korea are highly encouraged to apply. Here is 21 kinds of target sector, including AI, big data, BRL, etc. In my view, considering the current situation based on COVID-19, I think that the non-contact service and digital transformation, utilizing state-of-the-art service and technology, will be more available and effective in our event. Last year, in 2019, approximately 1,700 foreign staff team from 95 countries applied in our program. Since the 2016, for 4 years, approximately and averagely, more than 1,800 foreign startups from more than 100 countries has joined in our program. In this year, after global auditioning, we're gonna select totally 60 startup teams, and they're gonna be invited in Korea to have a chance to get 3 months accelerating program in cooperation with the 5 comparative Korean accelerators. In this slide, I wanna tell you about the process of KSGC. Now is in the middle of promotion and application period. It will be finished by 25th of June. And then 2 steps global auditioning. We're gonna select totally 60 comparative Korean startups and let them have a chance to get a global accelerating program from September. It would last for 3 months. And the final demo day will be held the later part of November. And then we're gonna offer additional settlement program for equipping sustainability in Korea. To the top 60 team, 3 months acceleration program, free office and project space, corporate sponsorship and support will be provided. And after finishing the demo day, yes, we're gonna select a final 30 team. In the case of a top 5 startup, totally $240,000 will be delivered and given as a prize money. And the top 30 startup will be eligible to receive funding for 3.5 months. And additionally, there are a lot of chance to have a meeting with the Korean accelerator and VCs. Through these activities, many of Korean VC and accelerator will take the equity-based investment to the selected startups. Here is the facility for the K-Startup Grand Challenge. It is placed in Pangyo, the southern part of Seoul, the capital of Korea. In this slide, I want to tell you about our main output and outcome briefly. Up to now, almost 9 startups have established legal entity in Korea, and approximately $1.2 billion has been invested to the startups, and 374 contracts has signed and made with many of Korean big company and conglomerate. Yeah, this slide shows the every step of K-Startup Grand Challenge. So as I already mentioned, I want to skip this slide, but you better check every step of process and time. Here is the URL homepage address of the K-Startup Grand Challenge. if you access this website, you can get more information about KSGC, and simultaneously, you can register, you can apply for our Global Accelerating Program. With this, I want to finish my own presentation, and now it's time for the Q&A session. So my friend, Mr. Lee, Chelsea, Jordan, and Peter will operate and take the Q&A time. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Hi. From now on, we'll start the Q&A session. And Jordan, please introduce your company and yourself.
Sure. So very nice to meet you all. I'm Jordan. I'm the co-founder and CEO of NR2. We have built a search engine to find innovative startups from China and South Korea. And we arrived here in Korea through the KStartup Grand Challenge in August, and now our Asian headquarters are based here in Seoul.
Okay, Naveen,
cool.
Please.
Hi, everyone. My name is Peter, CEO and co-founder of EKPORT, which is a B2B cross-border trading platform. I came here on KStartup Grand Challenge 2019, and after coming here, I realized that there was a world of opportunity when we are participating in this program. And since last year, we have done something really good in onboarding Korean exporters onto our trading platform and Indian importers on this platform. Thank you.
Okay. Chelsea, please.
Hi, guys. Well, yeah, thank you for watching our Asian and European watchers. And I'm Chelsea Han. Well, actually, it's my second time for doing this webinar because we had it once back in 4 hours ago. And I'm a manager at National IT Industry Promotion Agency, which is an organizer for this KStartup Grand Challenge program. So.
Okay, thank you. And hello, guys. My name is Jong-hyun, and I'm also working in National IT Industry Promotion Agency as a manager of KSGC. Hopefully, you guys meet soon. And if you have a question, and then please write in on the chat room, and then we are waiting for that. And before we answer, before we wait the question, I just ask for you guys. Yeah. First question is, what attracted you to apply for the KSGC program? Jordan, first.
Yeah. I mean, I'm very happy to start. So we heard about the KSGC program when we were in Station F in Paris. It was introduced to me by someone who knew South Korea much better than I did at the time. And I don't know if you know, but actually South Korea has been quoted by Bloomberg as the most innovative country in the world. And so, as I said in my introduction, we're actually building a search engine to help people find the most innovative startups. And so the reason why we came here to South Korea is because there's so many startups being created every day. They're extremely innovative, and it makes a lot of sense for us to be here.
Thank you.
Right, for me and my company, we were receiving a lot of traction from Korean exporters for our trade platform. So as soon as we got to know that there's a program like KStartup Grand Challenge 2019, we were very keen to get a chance to physically be with all our clients in Korea, meet them face to face, and onboard them onto our platform. So that was one of the most attractive propositions, to be physically in this country, meet our customers face to face.
Okay, yeah, thank you for your answers. So far, we kind of heard what really made you to want to apply for the KStartup Grand Challenge. And now we would like to listen that what helped you the most among the supporting program of the KStartup Grand Challenge. So what do you think was the most beneficial to you while you were participating in the program?
Okay, sure.
So I think it's actually a difficult question because there's so many things that you get when you're part of the program. I think that beyond all of the logistic questions and and help that we get on a day-to-day basis. I think the most useful help that we got from the KStartup Grand Challenge is the fact that we are here actually in these offices with people from the program, from NIPA, who are helping you on a day-to-day basis, which means that you get help on anything that you need. And you're also assigned to an accelerator when you join the program, which means that you have people who help you on the business side of things. They introduce you to people who are relevant to your business. They help you talk to them. They coach you in how you should engage with people here in South Korea. So I would say that the most beneficial things that we had being here in the program was to be here in these offices with people with us all the time, helping on almost everything that we needed on a day-to-day basis.
Okay, cool. So for our startup, we were an idea stage startup when we decided to join the KStartup Grand Challenge 2019. However, one of the significant things that we benefited from was being associated with mentors through the accelerators who were working with us. And during that time, our company was able to refine our idea, which made a lot more sense to our exporters in Korea. So one of the biggest things that helped us was to be able to refine and make the idea really serving to our customers over here in Korea. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So please, tell detail about the acceleration program. I think it's many people are interested in 3 months acceleration program. So what you guys are get from the acceleration program and more detail for us? Could you, yeah. I think you guys are different, accelerator, right? Same accelerator?
I think we're in the same
Accelerator, yeah,
Yeah.
Please tell me more detail.
Sure, yeah. Do you want to go?
Yeah,
Okay.
Sure. I think, if you guys don't know how it works, so when you arrive here, you're full of many companies. It was 40 for us. And then you're assigned to different accelerators, so which means that within the program, you will work with a specific accelerator, which will be dedicated to a small number of companies. Now, this accelerator is here for you all the time and available to help on any kind of questions that you have. For us, what it meant was that we very quickly realized after arriving here that South Korea, if we were to succeed and make things happen here, we had to put a lot of energy, and we had to really engage with the ecosystem and basically put a lot of energy to it. The accelerator was helping us do that. They were helping us understand what we had to do, move fast, quickly, be able to engage with people as fast as we had to, and also culturally understand what we need to understand in order to make something out of all these meetings that we had. So if I were to summarize, I would say that the way the accelerator works is that there are people here which are, I would say, at your service, meaning that you are the one in control of what you want to do, but they will do everything that they can in order to help you. So you need to know what you want to do, but if you do, and they will help you figure out if you don't, they will really do everything that they can on a daily basis to help you achieve your objectives.
All right, thanks.
Okay. In our case, it was interesting because, as I mentioned before, we were an idea stage company. Refining of the idea with the real metrics, real data points from the mentors and the accelerators who are business leaders and have a lot of good, strong business network over here. That was something which really helped us march forward with our startup. So one of the things that particularly worked for us, and that was really customized by our accelerator for us, was one-on-one sessions where we worked out the details of our business, the business model, and cut off the things that may not be really making sense to the customers. So this helped us to focus on the most effective business strategies that we could leverage while we were here physically in Korea. So if I go into this aspect, that refining of the idea to suit to your target audience over here in Korea, that was the biggest contribution that the accelerators did to our company. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
So I get that basically accelerators kind of help you do the business in Korea overall, like since they like almost like came into the office with you and try to consult with you every time when you needed them, and kind of because they were kind of an expert in Korean market, so they kind of made your like product more suitable for the Korean market.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So there is a questions from Yuran Go. Yeah, I will read that and then. Hi, I wonder how to do online presentation. Please give me guideline and detail about the process of presentation.
Oh, okay. So yeah, thank you for your question. And well, basically, I think you already knew that because I think you've definitely read our timeline. So the online presentation will be held after the document reviewing. So it's like we will try to give a like detailed guideline after you get accepted. But basically, well, I think Jordan and Naveen can share about what you had in your online presentation experience, right? Like, I mean, the local edition.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah.
I met him in India.
Oh,
Yes,
you did?
absolutely.
Oh,
He
okay.
is the first presenter.
Oh, wow.
Right, first
Yeah.
presenter of the day. So
Oh.
yes,
Okay.
so it's very interesting. I had a very early morning flight to reach Bengaluru, and I met Mario there. Well, first presentation of the day. I think it's a very classic VC pitch that you need to prepare. You have to have your idea, the business problem very clearly identified. Talk about your solution, and then how specifically you're unique or your business is different from all the existing other solutions in the market. So everything that is a good thing for a VC pitch is what should go into your presentation. Whether it's online or offline, like that is the content really for this pitch. Yeah.
All right, because we usually have a limited time. It's kind of important that you just try to put your like focus on the details about like what you really want to, persuade judges to select you. All right. So, Jordan.
Yeah, I mean, I very much agree with what had been said. I would say that you are doing a presentation for a very specific objective, which is to enter a new country and a new region of the world. So you should really, at least that's how we did that, is that we really thought about pitching our company in the context of South Korea and our strategy in Asia. And so it was everything that Peter said, which was you have to really think of that as a VC pitch. And I think also take into account that you are going to be in South Korea to develop your company in this market, and therefore whatever you're doing needs to make sense in this context. And so I would say that that's also an important part of what you're going to say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hope that would be enough answer for Yuran's question. Oh, okay. Okay, there is another question from Alan. Hi, panelists. I'm Alan Darmanwan from Indonesia. I'm really interested in joining this program. My team and I have done the initial stage of our startup. We have finished the initial report, which contains the explanation of our system, cost, traction and investment, economic viability, and scale-up plans. However, we haven't built a prototype yet. Are startups with no prototype eligible to register for KSGC 2020? I think, yeah, we...
Eligible.
Yeah, well, one word, eligible. I think we already discussed this, I think we already discussed this with our first webinar, but it's like basically there are many items on the application that you have to fill out, but it's just that if you have a product or not, it's just one of the one of the items on the list. So it's like if you have a viable product, that would be better, of course, to penetrate into Korean market. But if you don't have any viable product yet, but if you have like specific plans on how to make it and how to make the idea like more visible, like you have plans for it, then you will have no problem. Like if we don't really do like, oh, this startup has no product yet, so we'll just cut it. We don't do things like that. We just take everything into account, and there were also cases that some teams who had not MVP yet has been selected for KSGC. So,
yeah, if you have an idea, just apply.
Right.
And there also have the other question.
Yeah.
From Bang, I think he's Korean, I'm not sure. Is Korean safe with COVID-19 pandemic? And could you briefly explain how business handle? So I think it's you guys are business in Korea.
Yeah.
So
maybe I can go for it. So it's interesting because we are a cross-border trading platform. Due to COVID-19, most of the international trade fairs were affected. People would not fly to meet their customers and business partners. So in some ways, for our trading platform, it was an opportunity where we reached out to all our business partners, clients, exporters, and buyers, and tried to leverage this situation where our startup can be a default way for them to have their cross-border transactions done with Indian market. So yes, COVID did affect, but as a startup, we are constantly looking for the silver lining and possible opportunities in every highs and every lows. So that's what we did from our company's point of view. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the COVID-19 is affecting everybody all over the world. I would say that if you think of South Korea right now in the context of what's happening elsewhere, you'll see that it's one of the very few countries that are still operating in almost a normal way. So for us, what that means is when countries like France, the UK, or the US are on lockdown, people are quarantined and they are really struggling to work. In Korea, because of the way the virus is handled, it means that people can still operate, they can go to work, and therefore economy isn't stopping. So I would say that for us, we're very, very happy to be in South Korea because developing our company here means that we're in one of the very few countries in the world which is still functioning almost normally, even though it's also affected.
Yeah, thank you for your answers. And in addition to that, basically South Korea is really safe with COVID-19 because like our South Korean government, as you may be well aware of, could be a model case for like dealing with COVID-19. And basically Korean people always, try to follow public hygiene by wearing masks or using a sanitizer or try to avoid public gatherings and so on. And we also have our own KSGC manual for dealing with COVID-19. Like we just, try to check the temperature every time when people coming out. So basically, you don't really have to worry about COVID-19 while you're in Korea.
Okay, thank you. I think there is another question. Shneha Arora. Yeah. When you speak of strategy to enter the Korean market, would you want us to highlight specific goals in terms of numbers or speak generically? I think there is competition actually. So last year also 1,677 applications we received. So I think if you write highlight specific goals, there is a more good to how to say that chance to get this opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
How about you guys? I think it's when you apply, you write very specifically how to write it.
Generally,
Yeah, I think it's linked to what I said when I said that when you prepare for the online presentation, you have to think about the fact that you're going in South Korea. I think the answer to this question I would give is very similar, which is that if you don't have specific numbers or views on what you want to do in South Korea, it means that you probably should try and think about why specifically South Korea and what you're going to do when you arrive here, because whenever you enter a new country as a company, it's difficult, and each country is very specific. It works in a very specific way. Customers want very specific things, and therefore, for you as a company, I would suggest personally to really think about these. And I can give you an example for us, which is that we had a product when we arrived here, but we have redesigned it in a way that would match the Korean market. Because it's just that your customers, your clients, your users, whoever you're engaging with, will be probably a bit different in South Korea than in your home country. So thinking about this in details is probably very interesting for you in terms of succeeding when you arrive. So I would say do as you feel like, but thinking about this is probably, it would be my advice.
I think I'll certainly agree with what has been said about it. One of the reasons why I would emphasize on being clear of what you want to achieve when you get to Korea is because once you land in a new country, you've got various things to actually manage and plan out. And the time that, for any startup, time is really of the essence. So if you're not clear, you'll take longer to settle in and actually get down to doing business. So the clearer you are, the goals that you have set up for the new country, it'll help you to just hit the ground running, So that's something I would really advise. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Actually, Jordan is last year top 1. Naveen is top 4, so you guys please write his answer. Okay. And there is 2 comments, and then one is from Dantong, Dantong, and then our previous team, and then he says totally agree to your answer, and then greeting is. I think there is the other question, and
Jade Liao, hi, I have a question. Is language a critical barrier when startups are trying to break into Korean market? How KSGC has helped? Could you answer the questions?
Okay.
Yeah.
So for our company, there was a point in time where through the course of the program, there were interns who were associated with our company. And we leverage that availability of a local Korean and English-speaking person to reach out to our clients in a much more effective way. Because yes, it does help to have bilingual capability when you're doing business in Korea. So for our startup's case, it was really helpful to have the interns as well as the mentors from the different accelerators who are associated with us. So yes, it certainly is helpful. Yeah.
Yeah, I would. Of course, I very much agree with what Peter said. I think that I would add to that actually cultural understanding. I think that so from my experience, I've been working in different countries. I've been working in China. I've been working in many different places, and every time what I realized was that when you get in a country, there are things that you're not used to, maybe just in the way that you work. So, for example, in France, you don't really exchange business cards because that's not something that is, obvious. It's not very useful in France to always have a business card. When you're in Asia, and especially in South Korea, you always need to have a business card and know how to exchange it. I think that language is very important, and what's great with the KSGC is that people will help you. You will have people who speak Korean here always around you, and you will be assigned interns. I can give you the example of when I arrived, I forgot my business cards, and I had to print new ones. And something which seems simple, actually, when you're in a country where you don't speak the language, can be quite challenging. As it happened, someone in the offices here just came with me, and in 30 minutes, I had my business cards in English and Korean. So language is going to be something that you have to think about, and I would strongly suggest to try and learn it when you arrive and really engage with people here. But also, I would say that I would extend the answer to the questions to when you arrive here, really, I would suggest to be humble about your understanding of how things work and try to really be some kind of a sponge to how people work here, how do they speak, and beyond just the language, try to feel your way through everything that happens. I would say that that's very, very important. But not speaking Korean is not going to block you from doing things here. When I arrived, I didn't speak any Korean. So, yeah.
Thank you. Hey, Jordan, can you speak any Korean? Like, do you know any Korean you can?
I can say 안녕하세요. 저는 조던입니다. 저는 프랑스 사람입니다. So very little, but yeah, what I need to survive.
Yeah. So as you can see, like he just won the first prize of KSGC with speaking that 3 sentences. So basically, that means there's really no need for, I mean, like it's better that you learn Korean, but there is no such thing as a language barrier when it comes to your participating in KGC and also doing business in Korea. And as Jordan and Naveen has mentioned earlier, we will try to have some Korean intern, like 1 intern per 2 teams to work only for you, so it's that you can just let the translation and interpretation, or for example, have a business meeting with the Korean intern so that he or she can, do the translation or interpretation for you, so there is no problem while you are doing in business. And also, we are going to provide you some Korean lessons during the KSGC, so if you're interested in learning the language, you will be most likely welcome.
And then our steps from NIPA, we are working next to this place. This place is actually like a co-working space. You guys are really working here. And then we work very next from here, so we always have you guys. Right? Is it right? Absolutely right. Okay.
Yeah, we didn't force you, right?
And they also have another question. Then could you?
Okay.
Yeah.
Sneha Arora, will it be a prerequisite to stay in the country after the 3-month program, or you can have a team in South Korea but function from your home country? So, what about you? What about your guys are doing?
Okay. Do you want to go first? Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, I don't have the answer to this question. What I can say is, for us, we really view South Korea as a key success factor for our company, which meant that we really wanted to stay here. And I'm one of the founders of the company, and I moved to Seoul in order to push the company here. So I think I don't know what the program thinks, but I would say that if you want to do something here, where you want to really push things forward, it's very, very useful to be here. Because it's part of the answer I gave before, which is that you have to, especially for us, because we're a search engine, we're trying to help people find startups here in South Korea. And that means that we need to really understand the ecosystem, we need to engage with people, we need to be around. So for us as a company, it made a lot of sense to stay here. And so we've made a decision to stay here, and half of our team is now based in Seoul.
Okay. So it's very similar thinking on my side as well, because the program is really like an investment that you're doing in your own startup, right? So to reap the benefits of the three months that you spend over here connecting with your business partners, clients, etc., to reap the real benefit, you would want to be here and make sure that you reap the rewards of all the hard work that you put in the 3 months. So my company, we have set up 2 offices over here, and reaching out to all exporters in Korea and connecting the buyers in India with the exporters. So that's the work we're doing, and we'll continue to do that hopefully long after the program is over. Yeah.
Thank you. So
I have one question. And since you've came to Korea, what thing is the most different from your expectation and stereotype of Korea? Naveen?
Well, something that was different in my case, because I had actually worked in Seoul during my earlier career position, And that was a very investment banking role that I had. So the big difference was the vibrancy of the startup culture over here. So when I came this time for the K-Startup Grand Challenge 2019, it was the vibrancy that I could see in the startup side of South Korea. So that was a big different thing for me personally, because I had seen the investment banking side in Korea, and now I was here with a whole bunch of startups, like trying to do things in a very innovative way. So that was really exciting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think about the answer to this question. It's not an easy one. I think that I would say that there's one thing that really surprised me when I arrived here, and it's not business related, is that I always thought about South Korea as a very tech-oriented country, very innovative in many, many different ways, which is the case. But what I also realized arriving in South Korea is I could take the subway for 30 minutes and be in a mountain and go hiking. And that's in city center of Seoul. And that was very surprising to me. And now I live in Seoul in an area called Jamsil, and I live near a lake. And every day I can just go and have like a real contact with nature. I bike to the office along the river every day. And I just, it's very interesting to me how Seoul is a city that has everything, including nature, mountain area, lakes, a lot of clubs if you want to party, and basically I was very surprised by that, and all of the tech things that I expected are also here. I have ordered coffee from robots in South Korea, and that was amazing and very good coffee. So yeah, I think that's what surprised me the most when I arrived here.
Okay. Well, yeah, thank you for your answers. So, in addition to what Jordan have spoken, what is most attractive about living in Korea other than business?
Is party?
So I mean, for me, I think it's the nature. I mean, it maybe it's gonna sound crazy, but I really like technology and everything around innovation. This is what our company is all about. But I also love that I can bike to the office every day near a river and see birds and hear them, and it's just on the campus here. There is actually water near here, and when you stay late at night, if you go there, you hear frogs singing. It's really cool. I mean, it's something that I really enjoy, and for me, I would say like I really enjoy the fact that I can be in a very, very big city and have access to everything I want in the latest technologies. Like you can order food very easily, you can do everything you want, and also you have access to nature whenever you want, very, very easily, and that's really, really great.
Okay, that's interesting. For me, I think one thing that I've constantly enjoyed over here is making personal connections. So, for example, as a part of a small startup, we meet so many different SMEs in Korea. And usually the CEOs or the founders of these companies, they are very, very keen to actually get to know you a lot more before they get into the business. And for me, a person who enjoys spending time with people, getting to know their culture, the way they think, the way they solve problems, this was a very interesting opportunity. So what I can say is that, like, as a part of my company, of course, I'm doing my business and I'm always looking at business opportunities, but also on a personal level, having a huge network of business co-founders, exporters, innovators, that is something that I really enjoyed in a short span of time, having such a big network over here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you for sharing. So there is another question for me. So what changes have been made in your business after participating in K-Startup Grand Challenge?
Okay, that's an interesting question.
Well, I can go for it. I mean, a lot of things. I think that for us, so we are a search engine, which means that we have built algorithms that are reading the internet to find startups. Now, we started out in China, which means that all of our algorithms are in Chinese. and they read the Chinese internet, I would say. Being in Korea meant that we have to adapt these algorithms to the Korean language, and we had to basically improve a lot of our algorithms and AI in order to be able to adapt to South Korean ecosystem. So that's the first thing that we had to do, which is not visible, but it's still important. Also, we have had to change and upgrade our design so that it would fit with Korean users. You might see on my hat that I have a very specific logo, which is designed with South Korean in mind. It has a hidden South Korean character in it, and you can find it on our website. So being here, as we said, I think Peter and I is the same, is we really want to make South Korea part of our business, and therefore it means that we shape our business in a way that works with South Korea and for South Korea. So that's the first part. Product-wise, this is very important. And then in terms of the team, we've been hiring in South Korea. We're building a team here in South Korea. So it means that our business is evolving and growing here locally, and is part of the local economy. So that's also something that is very important to us and changed a lot of things in how we think about our company.
That's good.
Great.
It was something very interesting for our company because we came here with a certain branding in mind, which was export distribution channel. That's what we wanted to be. But then over countless late night discussions with our mentors, the accelerator who was assigned to us, we realized that there was a very new concept that we could push out in the market, and that is called crowd importing platform. So the genesis of our idea really was after coming to Korea, discussing, talking with different exporters, and refining it to a much more palatable way of reaching out to our clients. So that was something very significant. And that's why our platform is called EKPORT, which is ekimport.com now. So that was a pretty big change for our company, over here.
I think, so there are two comments. And then first one is, what is the name of your company? Sorry, I missed it out earlier. So.
I'll use the brand name because we've got multiple entities to do cross-border commerce. So the brand name is ekimport.com or ekimport.com.
Okay, and then next question is, there is a name. Hi folks, name here from the call, and then just say hello. And then and next one is,
Daniel Milton, what has the program made possible that you couldn't have gotten if you didn't join it or join another program?
Okay, that's a very valid question because as a startup, when you choose to invest time, effort, and maybe have some of your managers, key people, physically be away from your home team, you really need to know this very clear, what's the value add that the program would bring. So the simple fact that one of your key executives of your startup would be present in Korea, you would have the proximity to the Korean business partners, clients, or whatever overlap you expect in Korea. And that cannot be really done while you're sitting at home trying to do Zoom conferences or any other methods to reach out. Because as I mentioned before as well, that businesses often would like to know you in person because they're looking for a stable, long-term partnership when they get involved with your company. So for that to happen, your physical presence here is really good. And secondly, if you say that you've been selected as a part of K-Startup Grand Challenge program, because of the publicity, because of the networking that is available to you, it just makes it that much more easier to start new relationships from a business point of view in Korea. So this is really very important.
Thank you.
Good question.
Yeah, I mean, I very much agree. I think the reputation of the K-Startup Grand Challenge is very, very good here. And therefore, it means that you being part of this is going to open doors naturally because people will be willing to hear what you have to say just because you're part of this program. And also because you're going to meet people here who will introduce you to their network and they're a door for you to a network which wouldn't listen to you otherwise because they wouldn't know why they would have to do that. So I think that's all very, very, very true. I think that's something that might be logistic and less business oriented, I would say, but actually, if you think about it, it is everything that you get through a program in terms of visa, in terms of bank accounts. Like, as a startup, I think I very, very much agree with what Peter said about time. Time is extremely important and you don't want to waste it. So being in a program which opens a bank account for you in one day and then think about your visa process for you and just tell you this day you go here and you do that is very, very, very useful because not only you're saving time in the operations of it, but also you're saving a lot of energy into not thinking about it really because it's been thought through for you. So I think that the reason why I would say that these programs specifically is very interesting is because of all of these operations that work in a way where you don't have to think about things. It works. That's really, really useful. And also because you then get access to a network and people here with, I would say, it's a shortcut. It's basically something which, in order to achieve what you're going to achieve in 3 months here, by yourself, you'd need a year minimum. And you'd have to really work hard and be very efficient to achieve the same in a year. So yeah, so that'd be my answer. I think.
Yeah. So would you recommend KSGC program to startups in your country?
Yeah, I mean, actually, I've already done that.
100%?
I mean, so as I said at the very beginning, like we were incubated in Station F in Paris, which is the biggest startup campus in Europe.
Yeah.
And I have already went back to Station F, and I've actually introduced people from the program to different managers in the campus. And I told some of my friends who have startups in Europe, because I think that if your business has a future in South Korea, and I think in Asia, this program is a very, very good way for you to try and do that. And the reason is because of all that we said, but also just South Korea as a country is very vibrant, it's very innovative, it's perfectly placed in Northeast Asia between China and Japan, which are also very interesting ecosystems. And the relationships that South Korea has with Southeast Asia, they're great. I mean, it's like, I've met so many founders of South Korean companies who spend a lot of their time in Southeast Asia and are willing to introduce me to people there if I want to, that I think being in South Korea is not just a way to access the South Korean market, it's actually a way to access the entire Asian market. So for that reason, as a startup, I would really, yeah, if that's what you want to do, then you should definitely apply to this program.
Absolutely, and I concur. I mean, it's absolutely a great program to be. So startups in India, if you're looking at a launch pad for your business in Korea, I think this would be probably one of the best things that you could do. Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. We only have 2 minutes, so she has last questions.
Yeah,
you guys.
Okay, for last question, feel free to say a word or advice to participants or applicants in 2020 K Startup Grand Challenge. Probably like, yeah.
So I think if you can fine-tune your business model, keeping in mind the current pandemic that's going around, and still be able to see a silver lining in all the situation, all the doom and gloom that you might be hearing in the news on a daily basis. If your business can find that match and you can, solve those problems and get going with it, I think this would be a fantastic thing to launch your work in Korea. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll try to keep it short. I think if you're thinking about doing these, I think it's a great idea because of the situation of the world right now. I would say take it seriously. It's going to require work in order to succeed in South Korea, and you should really take it seriously. And also be humble about what you know, what you don't know, and come here with an open mind. And I think that's probably would be my last word. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. I think you guys can speak French and then Indian.
Speak Hindi. Yes.
Yeah.
It's very briefly to say hello to your country startups.
Yeah.
If you are okay.
Yeah, like you're the representative of your country here, so like shout out to them. Like
Okay. You want it specifically in Hindi?
Oh,
Yeah.
of course, I have one.
All right. So guys, it'll be a Hindi and English thing.
Okay, yeah.
So guys, I would say this program is amazing और ज़बरदस्त एफर्ट डालो अपनी स्टार्टअप्स में and leverage जो भी इस प्रोग्राम में आपको अवेलेबल है because that just right away launch pads you know into an international setup, right? So all the best guys, लगे रहो. Thank you.
Très heureux de pouvoir parler français et de m'adresser aux personnes qui sont en France et ailleurs, parce que je sais qu'il y en a beaucoup qui sont en dehors de France qui parlent français. Je pense que franchement, très sincèrement, c'est une opportunité qui est difficile à trouver et c'est quelque chose qui va vous ouvrir une porte sur un écosystème et une géographie à laquelle on n'a pas du tout accès depuis la France. Et venir ici est réellement une très bonne solution pour développer son business sur un marché qui est beaucoup plus grand que ce qu'on pense, beaucoup plus actif que ce qu'on pense et qui est en très forte croissance.
Merci.
bonjour, bonsoir.
I think there is two more questions, but we don't have a time, so we will reply like on the time. And thank you so much, guys. And hopefully we will meet soon. I say kstartup. You guys say Grand Challenge, okay? Kstartup.
Grand Challenge. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for watching.